If you are what you say you are, a superstar.
Yo, welcome to Wednesday. This is Roger Love from Roger Love Speaks. We're here with another segment of our Welcome to Wednesday. I'm here to get you through the rest of the week. You've made it through Monday. You've made it through Tuesday. We're right at the midpoint of the week, hump day, Wednesday. Today we're talking about boss or leader. A lot of you either are leading or you work for someone. How do you feel about that person? Do you feel like that's a person that you want to inspire to work for, or that's a person that you work for just because you have to and you don't really like the environment? I hear so many people say they hate their jobs. They don't like their jobs, and they don't like the person they work for. 43% of our people leave because of the conditions of how they're treated on their jobs and the way that they're inspired. Another 22% leave because, again, of the heavy workload. And these are numbers coming from me. These are Gallup polls that are taken by people that work for other companies out here. We need to make sure, if we're a boss, that we are not driving our employees. And we'll talk about the difference between a boss and a leader. We need to lead our people. Sometimes we get these jobs and we're leading people and we get big-headed. We got to change that, man. People today want to be treated well. It's just like if you sell something. People want service. If you're selling food and that's your business, you're in a restaurant, but they want service. They don't want to be mistreated. If you're buying some product, a car, a home, you want service. You want immediate service for your money. I understand these people work for you and that you're giving them money, that you're providing their livelihood, but inspire those people. Don't be one that drive your employees, coach your employees. Too many times we micromanage our people, and we're over them and not allowing them to work. Here's some tips here. If you got people working for you, one thing that you need to do is give them expectations up front. What's expected? Trust in your people. Coach them, teach them, show them everything that you know. I try to show people everything that I know about a particular business, especially sales. I know sales very well, and that's one thing that I do. You need to make sure you teach people everything that there is about sales. Coach them and inspire them. They should want your job. Stop worrying about job security, because let me tell you something. If you're not doing the job right, eventually somebody's going to replace you anyhow. If you own the place and you want to treat those people well, coach them up. Make people feel good. Attitudes and enthusiasm goes a long way. Zig Ziglar says it here this way. If you help people to get what they want, then you're going to get everything and more of what you need. Remember that. We got to get more of what we want by helping others to get what they want. And it'll get us everything we need. If you want success, if you want your business to stay at the top, if you want to increase your bottom line, you're going to do that if you just coach your people, inspire them, and teach them. Don't depend. Boss depends on authority. I'm the boss. I do this. That's not going to work. You got to be goodwill with your people, give them the benefit of the doubt. Help your people, correct them. You'll know when it's time to draw the line and say, hey, this is not working out for us and maybe you need to go on and do something else. You'll know that, but you don't have to threaten. You can just teach your people. You can coach your people. You can inspire your people. Don't inspire fear. Do this or else, just inspire your people. Give them some enthusiasm. Enthusiasm goes a long way, man. A positive attitude goes a long way. Don't go negative with your people. Because let me tell you something again. Without people, you have nothing. People make your business, whether they work for you or whether they're coming in. They are your people. They're a reflection of you. You have to understand that your people that are working for you are a reflection of you. What you teach is what they're going to do. What you inspire is what they're going to do. You inspire and teach fear, they're going to fear you. Don't say I. Say we. A boss says, I did this. I'm doing this. I'm in charge of this. We, as a team, you're leading, and people will know you're a leader. Just lead your team. Inspire them. We, together. When stuff is together, you can do it right. Don't place the blame on your people for a breakdown. When a breakdown happens, accept the fault and say, you know what? We're going to fix this breakdown together. Accept fault. Accept accountability. You're accountable for your people when things happen. No matter what, you can say this person messed up. It's a reflection of you that there was a failure in communication or there was a breakdown. And breakdowns are going to happen. People are going to make mistakes. People are going to make wrong choices. You as that leader have to say, hey, Let's figure out a solution to this problem, and then let's fix it. That's the biggest thing that we have to do. Come in, fix the problem together. And then you make them feel good and say, we fixed the problem together. Not that I did this, you messed up, I had to come in and clean up your spilt milk because you just don't know how to handle business. Treat your people well. That's the biggest thing. No, don't say it. I know how it's done. Show these people how it's done. Stop saying, I know this. I show them. That goes back to coaching again. Show your people how it's done. If you got a procedure here that, you're teaching your people up front, you got to show those people how it's done. Show them by example. There's that old saying, lead by example. Show them what you want. Show them how you want it done. And once you show them how it's done, trust. That's the biggest problem sometimes with boss and leaders. Bosses don't trust. Leaders lead and they trust their people. They delegate those duties out to their people and they trust them. Once you train them and teach them the way that they want, you got to trust in them. Have a little faith in them. And if you don't know whether you can depend on that person or not, that's important. Don't misuse your people. Develop your people. Sometimes people feel like, you got them doing this, and that, and, they never feel like they're going to get in advance, and they think that they're going somewhere, and you're just using them. Develop your people so that they have the opportunity to advance. I had a boss that I worked for, and he always told me, hey, Roger, I want you to want my job. It's okay to want my job. That's what I want you to do. I want to teach you everything so that if something happens, you have the opportunity, I move on, you have the opportunity to gain my job. And then I feel good. That's an extension of me. You look at some of the great coaches out there. I look at a lot of sports, and I look at the NFL. I look at guys that work for Vince Lombardi, guys that work for a Bill Walsh, guys that played under a Mike Ditka. Those guys are an extension of that person. You look at some of these people out here. You look at Jim Harbaugh. He's an extension of his dad. He's an extension of Mike Ditka. There's some of that toughness in him. You can see some of the old video on the sideline and Ditka chewing Jim Harbaugh out. He was hard on Jim because he knew that the kid could take it. And the kid's the same way with his players. He's tough. He's hard on them, but I guarantee you some leaders are going to come from that in the future, and you keep watching and see that that's going to happen. But we want our people to get out there and be better and be an extension of us. Stop taking credit for everything. Give credit where credit's due. If you train a person and they're responsible for doing it, give that person credit. They took care of that special project for you and got it done. Give them credit. That team, give them credit for doing it, for getting it done. You can't go any place without your people. And I'll keep saying it throughout this video. The biggest thing that we need to do is stop commanding. Ask of your people. This is what I ask of you to get done. This is where we want to be. You lay down expectations and you're asking them to get those things done. That's what's important to them. We got to understand that. Stop saying go and say, let's go. Let's go. Encourage your people. You got to encourage your people. I'm telling you this because, again, people leave their jobs 40+% of the time because of treatment and because of conditions. And guess what? The other 39% is the workload. Don't overwork your people. I know we want to put a lot on them, but sometimes you got to understand this is a day and age where people are overloaded with a lot of other things. If the load is too heavy for them, sometimes you got to delegate it to someone else. Break it down. We overload our people, and they feel like that, hey, I'm doing all this work, and I'm doing more with less. We don't want you to do more with less. If you're working for me, I want you to do more than what you need to do sometimes in a situation that requires you to have, a heavy load. But you know who can handle what and who can't handle what is what I'm saying. You know this. But your people need to want to work for you. Be a leader, coach your people, not a boss and saying, do as I say, not as I do. Be a leader. And your people, you get all the results you want. You want to increase in your bottom line. You want to increase and get yourself out to be number one. You want better productivity. Your people will do that. But again, you have to lead your people. Too many times we place the blame on the employees. The leader is always at fault. The boss is at fault. It does not matter. When something goes wrong, accountability falls on you. The accountability factor comes in, but at the same time, if you lead your people and help them to get to where they want to get and get what they want out of life, the rest is going to be gravy for you, and you're going to make a great living. I'm Roger Love for Roger Love Speaks. We're out, and I'll see you in a week.
If you are what you say you are, a superstar, then how